0 to 1 o'clock. You're about to enter a world of mystery and deception, where the lines between truth and lies are blurred. Imagine waking up one morning to find that your loved one is missing. And the only clue is a cryptic ransom note demanding Bitcoin in exchange for their safe return. This is the shocking reality that Savannah Guthrie, a renowned journalist, is facing. Her mother, Nancy Guthrie, has been missing for 61 days. And the investigation has just taken a dramatic turn. Tonight, we'll dive into the latest developments in this gripping case and explore the cutting-edge technology being used to track down the kidnapper. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Welcome to Archive of Enigmas, the true crime channel where we delve into the most baffling and intriguing cases. I'm your host, and I'll be guiding you through the twists and turns of this complex investigation. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more content like this. Now, let's get started. 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Nancy Guthrie, a 65-year-old retired teacher, was last seen on a sunny afternoon in late August. She had spent the day gardening in her backyard, and her family thought nothing of it when she didn't come in for dinner. But as the night wore on, and she failed to respond to calls and texts, her loved ones began to worry. Savannah, her daughter, was the first to sound the alarm, and soon the entire family was searching for Nancy. The police were called, and the investigation began. But what they found would change everything. A ransom note, demanding 10 bitcoins in exchange for Nancy's safe return, was left on the kitchen counter. The note was cryptic, but one phrase stood out: "Look to the blockchain for the truth." And with that, the investigation took a dramatic turn. But what does this phrase really mean? And how will it lead us to Nancy's kidnapper? That's a question we'll have to answer in the next chapter. 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Let's take a closer look at the ransom note. The demand for 10 bitcoins is significant, as it's a substantial amount of money. But what's even more interesting is the phrase, "Look to the blockchain for the truth." This suggests that the kidnapper is using cryptocurrency to cover their tracks, but also leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs for the investigators to follow. The FBI's crypto tracers are working around the clock to track the blockchain, but it's a complex and time-consuming process. As we dig deeper, we find that the ransom note was written on a generic printer, and the paper is common stock. But the words themselves are what's most intriguing. The language is sophisticated, and the tone is calm and collected. This suggests that the kidnapper is intelligent and calculating, always staying one step ahead of the investigators. But what about the physical evidence? The police found a suspicious transaction on Nancy's credit card statement, which leads us to a seedy part of town. It's here that we find our first suspect, a man with a history of fraud and deception. But is he the mastermind behind the kidnapping, or just a pawn in a larger game? That's a question we'll have to answer in the next chapter. 9 o'clock to 1300. The police are working tirelessly to follow up on leads and interview suspects. The FBI's crypto tracers are tracking the blockchain, looking for any sign of the kidnapper's digital footprint. But as they delve deeper into the investigation, they're faced with more questions than answers. The suspect we mentioned earlier has an alibi for the time of the kidnapping, but the police are still investigating his possible involvement. Meanwhile, Savannah is working with a team of experts to analyze the ransom note and the language used. They're looking for any clues that might reveal the kidnapper's identity or motive. But as they dig deeper, they're realizing that this case is more complex than they initially thought. The kidnapper seems to be always one step ahead, leaving a trail of clues that lead nowhere. It's a cat-and-mouse game, and the stakes are higher than ever. But then, just as the investigation seems to be going cold, a new lead emerges. A mysterious transaction on the blockchain, which could be the break they need to catch the kidnapper. But what does this transaction really mean? And how will it lead us to Nancy? That's a question we'll have to answer in the next chapter. 1300 to 1500. As the investigation continues, the family is left to pick up the pieces. Savannah is working tirelessly to keep her mother's case in the public eye, while also dealing with the emotional toll of the kidnapping. The community is rallying around the family, offering support and assistance. But as the days turn into weeks, the reality of the situation is starting to sink in. Nancy has been gone for 61 days, and the chances of finding her alive are dwindling. The family is holding on to hope, but it's getting harder and harder to stay positive. The investigation is ongoing, and the police are working around the clock to find Nancy. But as we wait for news, we're left wondering, what really happened to Nancy Guthrie? And will we ever find out the truth? 1500 to 1530. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. What do you think happened to Nancy Guthrie? Do you have any theories or suspects? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true crime content. We'll be back with more updates on this case, and we want to hear from you. 1530 to 1730. Just as we thought the investigation was going cold, a shocking revelation emerges. The FBI's crypto tracers have found a link between the ransom note and a previous kidnapping case. It seems that the kidnapper may have struck before, and this could be the break they need to catch the culprit. But as we delve deeper into the previous case, we realize that nothing is as it seems. The kidnapper's motives are more complex than we initially thought, and the investigation is about to take a dramatic turn. The question on everyone's mind is, will they find Nancy Guthrie before it's too late? The answer, much like the kidnapper's identity, remains a mystery. But one thing is certain, this case will continue to unfold in ways we never could have imagined. 1730 to 1800. Thanks for watching Archive of Enigmas. If you want to stay up to date on this case and others like it, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll be back with more true crime content, and we want to hear from you. Join the conversation in the comments below, and let's work together to uncover the truth.